Hello everyone, this is Diecast again. I thought I'd do a quick video here and show you how I clean these cars up. I'm gonna work on these three here. I've got a white one and two black ones, but you can see that. Let's see if I can get a close-up there of that. This little white Matchbox car, which was in the last video, he's got a lot of dust on him. There's no real damage to him. He's got a few little paint chips, but otherwise, he's in good shape. He's just dirty. And you can get a lot of these cars online. And these two guys over here, if I can get a good shot at them, those two I've just cleaned up. And you can see they are in just fantastic condition. And so, I thought I'd do a quick little video. So, we're going mobile here. We're going to leave the light rig behind. We're going mobile. The sound is a problem. Sorry about that. My microphone is attached to the light rig over there. So I'm going to zoom in on this. And we'll start with this guy. And what I use are just cotton balls and cotton swabs. So just regular old cotton balls, cotton swabs. And water. So that's just regular water. I use bottled water. Just in case, but oops. And so all I do is just dip my cotton swab in there, and then I kind of pat it over here on a. Let's get all these parts. I'm not used to working in this small of an area. I just kind of pat it there on a rag, and then I just very lightly scrub out and kind of get in there. Scrub out those areas. I try to stay away from the axles sticking through the center of the wheels there, and I have never heard of any issues with rust and cleaning like this, but these old cars do have they have axles that can rust. So I just stay away from them. I figure I don't need to clean the middle of the wheel anyway. But try to really get down in there and scrub this guy down. Don't use a lot of water. Whatever you do, don't run it underwater. That's going to get water into all sorts of places you don't want. And just kind of change direction. Some cars are easier than others. This guy's going to be really easy because he doesn't have any weird little concave areas on him. There you go. Just notice this guy's got a really kind of a cool casting. The seam runs along there, if you can see it. So he's got like a bottom half and a top half. That's pretty neat. I didn't notice that before. And gonna scrub this guy down, and then pick out the little fuzzies there, and throw that away. Don't use the same cotton swab or cotton ball too much, or all you're doing is just moving the dirt around. A lot of times the only issue with these cars is they've just been handled, and the oils from kids' hands get on them. Well, those oils stay there really forever and attract dust. And so if you can cut through the oil a little bit, you can usually clean them up. And all I'm doing now, I tend to, when I use that cotton swab, I tend not to scrub super hard so that I don't get the little fuzzies tangled up in there. And all I'm doing now is just kind of scrubbing out some of those little indented areas like around the windshield and all. Pat this guy dry real quick, gently, don't bend the wheels or anything. Also, don't forget the bottom. This one's bottom is pretty clean, but don't forget the bottom. And then we are going to use our secret weapon here. And I use a car polish, liquid car polish, and I use kind of a higher end car polish. And I use a turtle wax product, but I would like to use I remember it. What is it? I'll post it in the notes. There's a different polish that I was just told at the show yesterday is probably a little better. Adds a little bit more shine. And then I just kind of polish out fuzzies. some of these larger areas. Again, stay away from the wheels on them. Also stay away from the windows with this car polish. Don't use a lot. Pat it down so you're just using a tiny bit. And what we'll do is bring out the shine on this guy. And he will be as good as new. And again, I hope the sound's working. Sorry about the birds in the background. We're going mobile. We're in the workshop. So this guy now, he is as good as new, or almost as good as new. And you know, it's a nice little car for 60 cents or whatever I paid for it. And a lot of times people won't, you know, they're not going to pay as much for a car on eBay if it looks dirty. And if you can get a close-up of the picture and find out that it's really not dirty, it's just dusty. Rust is hard to take out, but regular dirt, just as long as it's kind of a light coating, is really easy. And this little guy here will scrub off his dust. There we go. Whoops. I gotta get rid of his fuzzies. I'm not going to get down in there, but you can get the inside. There we go. Yeah, don't get too crazy down in these little detailed areas unless you're going to use a better cotton swab or something a little bit smaller. Just kind of buff this guy down. Again, this is just water I'm using right now. Very lightly damp cotton swab. Get his roof. Check his bottom there. But it's nice to return these cars back to their original state, you know. There we go. So this guy's now cleaned up and looking much better. And we will, if I can find a cotton swab. Also, don't mix water with your polish. And again, you can see I just dabbed a tiny bit, and then I'm over here dabbing it on a rag so that it doesn't puddle up or anything. And it's just enough to kind of buff up those large surfaces. Make sure there's no abrasives in the polish. Some of the cheaper polishes have like an abrasive to them. You don't want to scratch up your cars. But you want to take off that layer of play. Or display, I should say. Nowadays, mostly what you get aren't. It's pretty easy to find cars that haven't been played with. But not so easy to find cars that, there you go, and that are in good shape, that don't have dust on them. So this guy is in real good shape. Now you can see he shines. Shouldn't be any discoloring or anything over the years with that. I've never had any trouble with rust. No trouble with really anything, at least that I've noticed. If you're a collector out there and you know of any real issues with this, let me know or post down below. I know there's some collectors that just do not want anything even the least bit damp around their cars. But I guess I'm not that careful. I just want them to be shiny. And to be fair, I'm not dealing with, you know, $100 red lines or anything here. These little Blackwall Matchbox cars are really probably the most expensive thing that I own. And they only cost a few bucks, so even if there was a problem, it wouldn't hurt my feelings too much. But I have never had a problem with it. There we go. This guy's black, so the dust really shows on him. Get him all dry. Here, move my camera over here. Can't work in that angle. So we'll get him all dry. Also, should mention if the car has stickers, which it's possible these old Matchbox cars might have stickers. These are Tampos. That's just paint, so it's pretty solid. But if there's stickers, I would stay away from the stickers. Be a little bit more careful. There he goes. He needs a little quick swab action going on here. There we go, because he's got some hard to get to areas there. A little bit of dust down in there. Yeah. Usually the back bumper and the front fender needs some help. Get down in those guys. There we go. Almost done. Our little Lamborghini. I think this is Lamborghini. Right? Lamborghini. Yeah, this is Lamborghini. Our little Lamborghini will be done in just a moment. Get a little cotton swab again. Tiny little bit of that polish. Also, don't use fingernail polish, by the way. That would be very bad. Use a polish that is good on plastics, and just make sure it's not going to discolor. There's a lot of different brands out there, and if you get on the forums, a lot of the guys will recommend different brands. I'm not sure which one really is the best. But what this will do is just give it a little bit of a shine. Let's get rid of all my fingerprints from just handling it. There he is. Pick off the extra little fuzzies there. And he is almost as good as new. That is pretty nice. So, for you collectors out there, when you buy these cars, you don't have to live with the little layer of dust that's on them. Whoops, sorry about that. That's going to do wonders for the sound. Here, we'll just zoom in there. But you can clean them up, make them look nice. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any better tips, you can go ahead and post them down below. And again, I mentioned in the last video that we're now on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can find us at LE Diecast on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks again.